Hey everyone, this is Mark again, and in this video I'm going to try and duplicate a design that someone showed me in Elementor Pro in WordPress. So let's go onto the computer and take a quick look and see what we're trying to do. So here we're in Facebook, and Ruan asked how you would make this layout. And I noticed here it's a little fuzzy and hard to see. I'm assuming this is the whole page, but we have, looks like some vertical text on the side over there. That might be a little tricky. And but looks like we have a header, which is pretty easy to do, and it looks like we have I would say two main columns, and then in the right column maybe two divisions of columns as well. So let me try this out. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to do this as a design test. Design test, and I will just do a quick publish. This is a local machine, and then I will publish, and then I'll edit with Elementor. Now for this, let's imagine that I'm actually creating a header and a footer, and we're doing template styling and all that stuff. But for this one, I'm just going to do it as a Elementor canvas, which will push out everything so there's nothing on the page already. I'm going to do this. I'm also going to hide the title. Style for the page settings, let's just do background as a white. Okay, so because the styling on the original theme wasn't really working that well, I wanted to do a full canvas thing. I went ahead and made it into the hello theme, so that one is a little easier to work with. So let's go back to this design test in Elementor. So here we are. Now we don't have to worry about the header and stuff. So based off of that image, we need the header area, so that's a single section. So that's kind of what that looks like up there, and you can style it differently. Obviously, this does not look that great. Put that in the middle. So next thing we want to do is create this area down here. I need a few pictures actually, so let me just grab some. And the other thing, 2 sections. Okay, so let's do 2 sections. Let's make the background just slightly different color. And on the left section, well, see, there's actually a padding around it, and there's some information over here. So technically, that might be a section of its own. But I think what I would do is I would turn that into a some text that is kind of has a negative margin to the left, and is rotated with CSS. That's probably what I would do with this thing here too. Maybe that's a really long column and this is a long column. You could do it that way. You could also add, top padding to this as well. So I could do padding on the top of 300 or something like that, and that will bring it all the way down. Or I could do a full pager. So over here I could go vertical height and then fit to screen, and that will extend it all the way. So we have an image on the left side, and we need some text in that image. So I think there's some one line of text and a header and another line of text. Very weird. I know there's a reason it does that, and I forget the solution, but there's a way to make sure that that weird extra padding on the bottom of text goes away. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. So that is done. We do have this little link, this thing, and we have these lines here too, right? So what I think we do with those lines is, because this whole column area is a thing, we can add an intersection in here. Okay, so you can see what I did here. In this whole area, I created two sections, two intersections. There's one on the top here, which is really long because it has a spacer here. And there's one on the bottom. And because they both have the same background, it keeps it right where it is. So we don't have to worry about the background resizing or doing weird things with the image. So on this one, I'm going to do a border color. See, it has that. Now there's nothing in here, so we can't see this column over here. So, but if I put some text in there, like if I just copy this text, it's really hard to bring it in there. So let me go here and do that. There we go. And we'll just do lorem ipsum. So this text is going to be interesting. So the way we do it is I just have rotate left text as a class, and then in the CSS I rotated that a little bit. Now you'll have to play around with this to make it look exactly the way you want it to look. But just as a single word, it works pretty good. You just have to redo some of the positioning and kind of play around with it a little bit to figure out exactly where it is you want it to be. But I can do some offsets there, some offsets this way too. So I have some vertical text. It's actually the wrong direction, but you get the idea. It should be, facing the other way. And down below here, I can get rid of this. There is just a line there, and then there's a box on the right side. So let's, I think that's a button. And so there you have that. It gives you the lines, it gives you the clickable thing here, it gives you some other things. We can add padding or margin to this text area if you need to. This whole column here should have padding on the right. We'll do %, 25, good. So that's that one. Now we have this over here, so it's almost the exact same thing. We could copy this. It doesn't have this line thing over there, which is great. So we have the image there. I'm going to copy this spacer, paste it over here. And then I'm going to just bring some text over there too. Okay, so the way I did this one is I created a spacer on the top. I did the text spacer, and then I created this button and left aligned it and changed the colors. This isn't the best solution, to be honest. I would add some padding and stuff on this one, and just bring this one to match. This is not the best solution, but it works. So if I expand this out. And there you go. So it has the lines and stuff and the text oriented that way and all those things there. A little bit of padding on the top, you can get rid of that. And we have the nav across the top as well. So now keep in mind this is not going to be mobile responsive as it is. You got to adjust some things for that. But for the most part, it's gets the job done. And it's pretty close to looking like this looks. Some tweaking and finagling, styling it a little better with the colors and everything. I think it could work pretty well. So Ron, I hope that helped, or at least was interesting to watch me fumble around and try and figure this out. It was a good exercise because I've never had to create this layout before. I think also there's probably a template within all of these blocks that has a similar layout. Like, you see this one right here? You could put this one in. Let's insert that. So here, they did almost the same thing down here, right? So the way they did this also was a background in the column, and then they did text here with some padding and stuff. So you can see that if you look in some of their, what they offer in their templates, you can also find things that look very similar to that. And then just finagle and kind of tweak those a little bit too. I don't know if there's any others here, but if you look around, you can probably find some that have a similar style or feel, or like this one looks pretty cool. So anyway, that's one method of doing it. I'm sure there are lots of others, probably more efficient ways of doing it too. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Hit the bell icon for notifications. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Until then, stay Akamai.